Hello everyone, welcome to the FNG webinar, and in this section we are going to talk about how to find IT placement in Nigeria. So IT stands for industrial training, and in this section we are going to talk about how to find IT placement in Nigeria. This section is brought to you by the FNG team, which is the Futanizanjis team. And if you would like to know more about us, you can visit us at FutaNewsandGist.com. From this section, now before we begin, I would like to brief you about what you're going to learn from this section. So from this section, you'll be able to learn what does industrial training, what does it mean, and IT placement, what does IT placement mean. So you're going to know about what does industrial training and IT placement mean. Secondly, you're also going to know about which section is IT being done. And thirdly, you're going to know about where can your IT be done. You're also going to take a look at how to find IT placement, which is the most important aspect of this webinar. So you're going to know how to find IT placement. We're also going to talk about takeaways from your IT experience. So when we are talking about takeaways, we meant that what you really need to know, like at the end of your IT experience, what you should know, what you have to have as an experience. So we're going to talk about that in this section, like what should be your takeaways from your IT experience. Finally, we are going to share with you a free ebook. So this ebook consists of IT placement companies and their addresses. So if you have been looking for somewhere where you can have your IT, you're going to find a list of some companies in this ebook as well as their addresses. So you can just pick the company of your choice, and this will ease your if you are searching for somewhere to have your IT placement, so this will be easier for you to locate the company and the IT placement of your choice. Now, before we begin, let me do a quick introduction about Futanizanjis. In case this is your first time of hearing about FutaNewsandGist, FutaNewsandGist is a #1 top education community website, and it is an educational platform built with the sole aim of documenting and disseminating information. So when we are talking about information, we're referring to opportunities, reading materials, etc. to aspirants, undergraduates, and graduates. So if there is something that you need to know about Futanizanjis, it's simply that our target audience are aspirants, undergraduates, and graduates. And basically what we do is we document and disseminate information which include opportunities, reading materials, and etc. So like I earlier mentioned, the two keywords about Futanizanjis is documenting and disseminating information, and the creative lead for FutaNewsandGist, which is the person of Tunde Abdulhamid Sanusi, used to reiterate this about documentation and dissemination of information when it comes to the FutaNewsandGist product. Now let's get started. Let's go straight to the point. The reason why we are here, let's get started. But before we get started, there is something that I would like you to do right now, and that is to get a pen and a sheet or a jotter or a notebook, because you are going to need to jot some things down as we progress. There are some things that you need to jot down, so you might need to get a pen and a paper nearby so that you don't miss any important information as we go along and browse this section together. Now, coming to the first one, what does industrial training IT mean? Industrial training simply refers to a program which aims to provide a managed, good, practical training within a particular time frame. So this is basically the definition. So when we are talking about industrial training, it simply refers to a program which aims to provide a managed, good, practical training. So what this meant is that IT training is a program that provides you practical training, not just theoretical how should I put it? So not just theoretical concepts. So you're going to learn about practical. You're going to have a managed good practical training within a particular time frame. So this time frame, we refer to it as the duration. So IT is not something that you're going to do every section throughout your stay in the school. So it has a particular time frame, it has a particular section, and it has a particular semester that you'd have your IT training. And in the consecutive slide, you're going to discover which section and semester that you're going to have. So what does IT offers? IT offers the student with important practical knowledge and skills and encourage them in becoming successful and a professional. So the main reason for industrial training is that it offers students with important practical knowledge and also encourage you in becoming successful and a professional. So that's basically what industrial training means and what it offers for students. Now let's move on to IT common. Now we're going to talk about IT common terms. So the first term that we're going to take a look at is IT letter. When you hear the word IT letter, what comes to your mind? IT letter is simply an official letter that will be given to you by the school authorities to present to your IT placement. So this is a kind of an official letter where you are going to fill in some details there, and then you take to your IT placement. So now we're also going to define IT placement. IT placement in a simpler term simply means a place where you'd be having your industrial training. So this is the place where you take your IT letter to. This is the place where you'll be having your industrial training. So if you hear the word IT placement, it's simply the place where you're going to have your industrial training. And if you hear the word IT letter, it's simply an official letter that you'd take to where your IT placement is. And the next common terms we're going to talk about is the duration. So when we are referring to duration, we are trying to talk about the timeline for which the industrial training will last. So this is the time frame that you'd have your industrial training, and this usually span for about 6 months. So it usually span for about 6 months. So let's say you're starting it by July 2021. So you are going to end by December. You are going to complete your industrial training by December 2021. So it usually span about 6 months. Now, other terminologies. Coming to other terminologies, there are several terminologies that are attached to industrial training, but if there are other terminologies in which we might not be able to cover it in this section, but if there are certain terminologies you needed to know or you are confused about, you can simply write us by sending us an email through our official email at FutaNewsandGist@gmail.com. So when you send us an email, we'll be able to respond to any question that you might have as regarding the other terminologies. Now moving on to the next part, which is which section and / or semester will IT be done. So for some maybe students in the lower level, you might be wondering which section or semester will your IT be done. So industrial training in the Federal University of Technology, Akure, FUTA precisely, occurs during the 4th year, that is your 400 level second semester. So it occurs during your 400 level second semester. However, an IT letter will be given to you towards the end of your 3rd year second semester. So by the end of your 3rd year second semester, you'll be given an IT letter, and the main reason why you'll be giving your IT letter towards the end of your 3rd year second semester is so that you can be able to search for an IT placement. You can be able to make plans, make preparation for where you're going to have your industrial training, because it wouldn't really make sense if you are going to have your industrial training at 400 level second semester and you are be given your IT level towards the end of your 400 level first semester. So IT is done during your fourth year, second semester, but IT letter will be given to you towards the end of your second semester 300 level. Now the next part that we're going to talk about is where can your industrial training be done? Where can you have your industrial training? It depends. So this part doesn't have a specific answer because it depends. Your course that which you study in school or your passion will determine where you're likely to have your industrial training, because it actually varies. So your course and some other factors will determine where you're going to have your industrial. However, there are the other several factors which might determine this. Apart from even your course or your passion, there are also some other factors which might determine this. So it is highly recommended that you consult with your department for details on this. So but if you have any question as regarding this, you can either send the message on our closed group, or you write us an email on FutaNewsandGist@gmail.com. Now the next part, which is the most important aspect of this webinar, which is, let me say the most important, it's actually the most important aspect of this webinar, is how to find industrial training placement. So now we're going to talk about how to find industrial training placement. Before anything else, before we show you how to find industrial training placement, you need to decide first on the type of job and location when looking for IT placement. So you need to first determine in your mind, what type of job do I want to do, or what type of practical training do I want to be, or do I want to engage myself into when I'm going for my IT. And location. So you determine the job and you determine the location. Determining this will make it easier for you to tailor your search based on these criteria. So if you determine this, it will be easier for you to tailor your search based on these criteria. So let's say I would like to work in the crop processing, or let's say I want to work in coin, so Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. So I'll just type what I want to do and the company and the location. So coin is actually located in, I think they are in something like that. So I can just type what I want to do, the job that I want to do, and the location, and it will be easier for me to, apart from even typing, it will be easier for me to search for something similar. But if you don't have a job in mind and you don't have a location in mind, it will be a little bit difficult for you to search for an IT placement. So for instance, if you want to do something IT related in Lagos, so it will be easier for you to tailor your search based on this criteria. Now let's talk about how to find IT placement. So the first one is word of mouth. So if you want to find IT placement, the first one is word of mouth with the acronym WORM. So this is simply the case where you tell your acquaintances, your friends, and or family if they know anywhere you can have your IT placement done. So the word of mouth is simply telling your friends or your family or acquaintances that you are looking for an IT placement. But kindly note that it is important to decide what and where, which is something that we talked about earlier. You have to determine what type of job and you have to determine the location before you can be able to use WORM to finalize it. So if you have a job in mind, you have a location in mind, then it will be easier for you to approach someone that, hello, I'm looking for an IT placement in this location and in this field. But if you do not have a location or a job in mind, so it will be easier for you, even if you are able to meet someone, it will be easier for you to communicate that to the person. So the first one is word of mouth, and the next one is offline search. So when we are talking about offline search simply means if you already have a place in mind, you can reach out to the HR of the said place or our employees who will share you details on how to apply to replace. So offline search simply means, let's say before you reach your 400 level, there is a particular company in your area or a company that you know already and you would like to you like to have your industrial training there. So that is what we meant by if you already have a place in. So that is what we meant by if you already have a place in mind. So you can simply reach out to the HR of that said company, or you try to connect with an employee in the company to share you details on how to apply to the place. And something we would also like to mention is that in case you do not have any offline place in mind, so we'll be sharing with you a free ebook which is a compilation list of IT placement companies in Nigeria. So ensure you don't skip any part of this video so that you don't miss the part where you are going to share with you how to download the free ebook which has the list of IT placement companies in Nigeria. Now the third one is online search. The third method of searching for IT placement is online search. The current 21st century we are in is also referred to as the global village. So it's possible for you to be hearing the word global village, global village, global village. What does global village mean? Global village simply means all parts of the world have been brought together by the internet and other electronic communication interconnections. So when we're talking about global village, we simply means that all parts of the world being brought together by the internet and other means of communication through electronic interconnection. So using an online search is not only faster but also offers limitless opportunity. So you can also use online search to search for an IT placement. So let's say you want to have your, like I earlier mentioned, you want to have your industrial training in Lagos with an IT firm. So you can just simply search for IT firm in Lagos for industrial training. So you can just use any search term. The search engine will understand what you are trying to search for. So that is why it is very important that you determine the job and the location in your mind. So if you already have a job and the location in mind, so you can just use online search to search for it. Now, a note of warning here. While the internet offers a lot of opportunities, it can also be misleading. Hence, we will strongly advise that you verify your online source. If you ever needed help verifying a source, you can share it in the comment box below or in the FNG closed community group. Now, as we move towards the end of this section, finally, maximize your IT period. This is the key takeaways that we would like you to know, and that is to maximize your IT period. You should ensure that you get yourself equipped with either soft skills, technical skills, or if possible both soft and technical skills, as these will come in handy for you during the remaining period of your time in school and after school life. So don't just go and have your IT done somewhere or anywhere or nowhere. Ensure that you spend it, you make good use of it to the extent that at the end of the day you are able to acquire either soft skills, technical skills, or both soft and technical skills that will be beneficial for you during the remaining period of your time in school or after school life. Now, the free bonus that we mentioned earlier, which is the free ebook that contains the list of IT placement companies in Nigeria. So the free ebook is titled IT Placement Companies ebook, and this ebook consists of IT placement companies in Nigeria and their addresses. You can simply download it for free by simply visiting bit.ly/IT placement companies. So bit.ly/ capital letter I, capital letter T, capital letter PLACEMENT, capital letter COMPANIES, bit.ly/IT placement companies. Thank you again for watching this webinar section. It is very much appreciated. And once again, this webinar is brought to you by the Futanizanjis. To know more about us, you can visit our website at www.futanizanjis.com. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/futanizanjis, twitter.com/futanizanjis, and instagram.com/futanewsandgist. Until the next time, bye bye.